You say at least it isn't cold?
Yeah.
I'm freezing. Jill, who's camera one? Okay, so will we like...
Do you want me to get Brock 2 or the other team?
Fans, welcome to Alumni Field for this evening's Cup Flow
The other
Flying
team,
Contest
yeah.
featuring the visiting Toronto Varsity Blues and your Brock Badgers. At this time, we would like to acknowledge the land on which Brock University was built. It's the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabes people,
Yes.
many of whom continue to live and work here today. This territory is covered by the Upper Canada Treaties and is within the land protected by the Dish with One Spoon local agreement. Today, this gathering place is home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples. And acknowledging reminds us that our great standard of living is directly related to the resources and friendship of Indigenous people. Fans, at this time, please rise if able and remove your cap for the playing of the Canadian National Anthem.
Hold on, give me 2 seconds. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, the other way? Okay, okay. Both. It's quite wide. Can't find it. Rock. Oh, sorry. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, you're just talking with the direction? Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Camera one, what? Sorry.
Welcome to Alumni Field. We are under the lights for this crucial playoff contest featuring the Brock Badgers and the visiting Toronto Varsity Blues. My name is Jordan Hall. I am joined by Isaiah and Nelly. Isaiah, action already ongoing on the field. Can you give us the 3 keys to look for when it comes to this game in the Brock Badgers playoff?
Yes, for sure. Oh, yeah, for sure. As this is going to be an exciting playoff game for the Badgers here at Alumni Field. First one starts with carry over the series sweep. The Badgers handled as they get the first goal of the game here early there. That was number 8, Aiden Buis, with a nice shot in from the slot there to get the Badgers started here early in the first quarter. But yeah, that basically brings me to bring that point, right? Carry over the season sweep. The Badgers have handled the Toronto Varsity Blues well this season. 2 games they've played and 2 games the Badgers have won. In that first matchup, it was the close matchup of both of the matchups. Ended 6-5. The Badgers started off early well. 5-1 was the score at half, and the Varsity Blues clawed back. They scored 5 goals in that third quarter, or 4 goals in that third quarter to tie it up, and the Badgers still pulled out the win. But that's one of those gritty games that shows you the Badgers have the Varsity Blues number, where they could, play well against this team. This is one of the teams that they've played better against and had those great season performances against. And the second one is Feed the Zoo, a player in Mitchell Zulian that's been playing really well for the Badgers this season. First on the team in scoring this season. He has 22 points this season with 14 goals and 8 assists, and he's 5th in the West Division as well. Top 20 in the province. He's been a very effective player for these Badgers on the offensive side of the ball, and I expect him to continue that today in these playoff games and throughout the whole playoffs as well, as that's going to be a key player for the Badgers going forward. And last but not least, multi-goal quarters. We talked about it all last week in the broadcast, where the Badgers, the quarters that the Badgers get more than a goal to go, it's a very successful quarter for them. That's something that coach stressed as well, that they want to get more than 1 goal to go. So we're going to see them try and do that here today against the Varsity Blues and try and keep that consistency. Last week, in 3 or 4 quarters, they had a multi-goal quarter. And if they could just be that efficient as they were last week, it'll be a good game here for the Badgers.
And as action continues on Alumni Field here, the Varsity Blues make it over half, and we're seeing some really strong forechecking from Brock. They utilized this a few times in the last 2 weeks, trying to take advantage of newly introduced to Kufla play this year, the 80-second shot clock. From the point possession changes, that shot clock will start counting down from 80 seconds. Teams have 40 seconds to make it over half. The Badgers have caused a few turnovers with teams with their strong defensive play, and the defense continues well. A flag will fly on the field, but action continues as finally the whistle is blown.
Yeah, and as you said, that 80-second shot clock going to be very important in these playoffs, just implemented this year. So going to be interesting to see how the teams fare, even though they've been playing with it all year. The playoffs is just a time where mistakes and untimely things happen, and the shot clock is definitely going to add on to that.
So we'll see what the Varsity Blues can do, as they will have a man advantage for 30 seconds here early in the first quarter. They'll send the ball behind the net and look to set up their offense from there. A quick throw in front, and there it is. That's the goal, catching the Badgers defense a little asleep right there. And it looked like it was number 18, Declan McPherson, scoring for the Toronto Varsity Blues to even this one at 1 apiece.
And that's going to be something interesting for the Badgers throughout the game, the penalty game, right? I mean, we seen them last week get a few penalties and allow the other team to get back into the game just because with the man down, they're not as strong, and the other team is, the opponent is able to, take advantage of that. We see that very quickly here with that penalty just happening, and as soon as the whistle was blown, not 20 seconds passed, and a goal was scored, and the game's now tied at 1. So Badgers have to watch out for that and hopefully play a clean game where all the players are on the field today.
Brock will come away with the ball, and they'll look to get some quick changes to set up their offense. Some room here, and they may have a free shot on goal, and there it is, a great shot from number 28. That was Andrew Kidd scoring for the Brock Badgers.
And what a goal that was. I mean, he got the pass at the midfield and then was able to find some open space, not picked up by any of the Toronto Varsity Blues defenders, and just blasted a rocket into the back of the net. What a shot and what a goal right there for the Badgers, back on top here quickly after getting tied up by the Varsity Blues. And for the Varsity Blues, that defense is also going to be a question, right? How long can they hold up the Badgers? Obviously, the Badgers have had they've had a double-digit win against the Varsity Blues this year. So it's going to be interesting to see if they could hold the Badgers from the offensive end today.
So as the faceoff goes, Toronto will come away with it, and they'll work down that far sideline. They're going to go quickly towards the net. They're not even going to wait.
Oh, wow.
Get a nice bounce. And there's another goal right back at it. George Brown scores for Toronto to make this one a 2-2 game early in the first quarter.
And like an almost identical play from the face-off and grabbing the pass from the middle of the field and being able to identify the open space, attack the open space, and just blast another absolute rocket. In these last few minutes, we've seen some great show of offense. I mean, both of these defenses have looked really rocky here to start because it's just the first quarter, just the first few minutes of the game, and we already have 4 goals. What a game.
So this game expected to be a close one despite Brock having a recent big win over the Varsity Blues. Brock finished the regular season with a record of 6-4. Meanwhile, Toronto 5-5, just 1 seed behind them. This is the number 3 Brock Badgers versus the number 4 Toronto Varsity Blues in a playoff game. The winner advances to next week's Bagataway Cup, being hosted by Trent University in Peterborough. And we see
What a play. I mean, the varsity blue players, the Badgers caught them sleeping there. I mean, the ball came, the goalkeeper did a nice job of blocking that shot, and the deflection was the point of where the Badgers attacked, and Badgers just continuing to be looking very good at the offensive end. I mean, they're just looking very crisp, very sharp, very focused up there tonight.
And as we get under 4 minutes remaining in this first quarter, we circle back to one of the keys of the game you mentioned, Isaiah, and that is multi-goal quarters for the Badgers. When their offense is going, they find themselves having lots of success, but it's Toronto coming away with it. But the strong defense continues. We'll get a quick whistle, which will separate them, and Toronto will have another opportunity to reset their offense. So behind the net, number 14, Davis Bottomley, will take his time. And we've seen Toronto a few times now when they get into the offensive zone are choosing to slow play down.
And Toronto here in the first quarter has looked dangerous offensively. So it's going to be the big question is if, who's going to look more dangerous? Is it going to be the Badgers or the Varsity Blues? Who's going to be able to hold the other one up offensively or defensively? And the Badgers doing well to just keep the Varsity Blues in front of them here in this position.
Great defense from McGregor Allen, and Brock is able to keep Toronto near the midfield line. They eventually circle it behind the net, and we'll see if they can replicate their first goal where they were able to find someone in the slot. Another cutter. This time he slips, goes to the ground, ball gets sent back up. That 80-second shot clock continuing to count down. So Toronto will have to look for a shot on goal soon. That one goes high.
Yeah, not a bad opportunity there for the Varsity Blues to be able to get a shot off there.
Swings around. Good save from Connor O'Toole. He's been a wall in net for the Badgers this season.
Very impressive goalkeeper. Keeping the Badgers, I mean, the Varsity Blues have continued to apply pressure here, and he's just stayed cool, calm, and collected. That's what you need.
Another attempt circling out front of the Badgers' goal, but it will go wide.
And the Varsity Blues just continuing to get these opportunities on this Badgers end, looking for the Badgers to lock them out.
And that will do it, shot clock.
Yeah.
So even though they had those shot attempts, they were not on goal, so the shot clock does not reset. 80 seconds goes by without a shot on goal, and Brock will take possession.
And even for how dangerous that possession was for the Varsity Blues, it was a little disappointing, especially because of the shot opportunities that you were able to get, not able to get a shot on goal. A little disappointing. Got to get down there and be able to get.
And a missed pass there puts the ball back into the stick of Toronto. Some great forechecking, though, and Patterson comes up with it for the Badgers. He has some space. We'll see if they can utilize. LeClaire puts it on goal, but a great save from the Varsity Blues.
Looks like they're getting a penalty there.
So just under 40 seconds remaining in this first quarter, and Brock will keep possession, and they'll have a man advantage.
We've seen them work fast off these offensive sets before. Let's see if they could do it quickly here and get a goal before this quarter ends.
Buse will swing it around to that far side as him and Zulian work together. Sorry, Zulian now with it on the near side. Looking to get it across to the slot, just misses. And as it goes long, 5 seconds left. A little slow stopping the clock, so the officials will add for some more time to be added.
This is great for the Badgers here. Get at least one opportunity left at goal in this first quarter.
But it looks like they'll just let it count down, and we will go to the end of the first quarter with the Brock Badgers leading this Kufla playoff game over the Toronto Varsity Blues 3-2. Winner of this one moves on to the Bagataway Cup next weekend, hosted by Trent University in Peterborough. Come back after this short quarter break for Brocktv action, Kufla playoff action.
Girls, listen, control our emotions, right? Every action is positive, negative, or neutral. Let's have a bunch of positive ones out here. Okay, short shifts. Let's get everybody through this, feeling the energy, feeling the body contact, get into this game right away. Okay, everybody's going real quick, short shifts. Listen, we're on a journey this season to play our best when it matters the most. This is one step along that journey.
Welcome to the Meridian Center. We're here at the Steel Blade Classic against the Glove Grip. It's going to be a great game tonight. I am Remy Zano, joined by my good friend Anthony Santini.
The second quarter just about to begin here at Alumni Field at Brock University. The Brock Badgers leading 3-2 over the Toronto Varsity Blues. Currently with a man advantage, they'll look to make it a 2-goal lead. Isaiah, what did you see in that first quarter from these two teams?
I seen a strong offensive quarter from the Brock Badgers there. 3 goals already. Ooh, as hit stick right there. But I mean, getting those 3 goals, having that multi-goal period to begin the game, just a nice start to the game, giving you that confidence to go on through the throughout the game. And defensively as well, they played well. I mean, Toronto Varsity Blues were looking dangerous through multiple times in that quarter. And the Badgers, even though they allowed 2 goals, they held their own to not allow more, because the Varsity Blues definitely had opportunities to add more to the board there. And for the Varsity Blues, I seen an impressive quarter offensively. You know, getting 2 goals, having that multi-goal quarter, just defensively lacking a little bit, allowing these Badgers to get behind them and get these 3 goals. So let's see. It's been an interesting game so far from these two teams.
So Brock now trying to get the ball into the slot. No good, but you'll see how quickly they try and converge on that Varsity Blues player as they come up with it. They're able to cross the line, though, and now they'll have a man advantage with a long shot on net, and that will do it. Goal courtesy number 21, George Brown, with his second of the game.
And that was a beautiful run on the outside by the Varsity Blues defender. I mean, to bring the ball, to steal the ball from the Badgers and bring it all the way to midfield, seen incredible speed, had a few Badgers following him, be able to get the pass off to an open man in the middle of the field, and he just had free reign to run down and get off a shot. That was beautiful offense there by the Varsity Blues to start this second quarter here.
And in order for the Varsity Blues to have success, we may need to see them pick up the pace like that. We know the Badgers are going to be hard on that forecheck, trying to force a turnover before the midfield line. And
that extra step to them. I mean, the Varsity Blues are doing everything correctly, not really making a lot of mistakes, but the Badgers just have that next level that they tap into after the Varsity Blues make a really nice play, make a really nice defensive possession, or get that goal back. The Badgers respond very, very nicely.
And we'll see what Brock can come up with. We saw last weekend hosting the McMaster Marauders. They were able to go with 5 unanswered goals to their win, 9-3 win. And then on Sunday, hosting the Laurier Golden Hawks, they scored 10 unanswered goals to win that one 10-3.
Yeah, we've seen these Badgers in impressive form over the last few weeks, and for the rest of the OUA, that does not bode well. The reigning champs are coming back out and looking to repeat. I mean, the Badgers are hungry. You see it on the field today. You see it in the last few weeks in the way they've been playing, how hungry, how physical they've been with the other teams, and how focused they've looked as well. Offensively, it's just crisp passes. Sorry, and not a lot of mistakes being made by this Badger team as well. I know defensively they have those hiccups and have the penalties that they tend to get themselves into as the games go on. Last week we seen them do that against Laurier, and even though that allowed Laurier to get back into the game at some points, the Badgers still are so good offensively and still defensively so good that they're able to recover for those penalties and those penalty goals, and we see that today as well. Varsity Blues getting that, one mistake made by the Badgers, those penalties, and Badgers able to respond very, very well.
So following the timeout break there, we'll give everyone a little bit of a breakdown of what the Kufla playoff scenario looks like. Finishing in first place this season, the Guelph Griffins, who the Badgers met in the Kufla Championship final last year. They had a season record of 9-1, matching up with Wilfrid Laurier, all the way down in 6th place, who had a 2-8 record. As well, Western finished second with a 9-1 record. They played against McMaster yesterday in their playoff game. McMaster finished the season 4-6. Western with the easy 15-3 win in London last night to book their ticket to the Piscataway Cup. And then we have this other Kufla West matchup featuring Brock and Toronto. Again, 3 teams from this division looking to book their ticket to Trent University, which is the host of the Piscataway Cup this season. So Toronto now circling towards this near side. They'll have to send it back up top as they continue to try and stretch out the Badgers' defense. 2-on-1 defending on that far side as they push Toronto further away from the net. 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock as the sideline lets their players know as the shot goes wide, we may see another shot clock violation.
And the communication is just great between the teams to allow them to just, even though the shot clock violation still does come, seeing that communication between the sideline and the team.
So you can see the impact that 80-second shot clock is already having. We've had 3 shot clock violations in this contest so far.
And it's going to be something that's going to affect them, throughout the game, throughout the playoffs. It's going to be an interesting aspect to this game as it was just added this year, right?
And Zulian now will collect the ball near midfield. Him and Buis working at the top. They'll cross. Zulian now comes back the other way. Will quickly send it behind the net. Both teams battling as the Badgers try and find a lane to get a shot on goal. Buis now swings it over, goes to the left, and it will go wide. We've seen Buis and Zulian spending a lot of time at the top, setting up the offense, the 2 top scorers for the Brock Badgers this season. Zulian turns away from the pick, sends a long shot, goes off a stick. Toronto now trying to quickly get possession, but it's Zulian that comes away with it. His shot will go wide left of the goal.
And the Varsity Blues, they're just doing a really good job of just staying in front of the Badgers as the shot clock violation hits there. Just staying in front of the Badgers and making it really hard for them to get a good clean look or even a good clean pass. That's the type of defense that the Varsity Blues are going to be wanting to play for the rest of the game.
So early in this second quarter, we've already seen 2 shot clock violations, not short of opportunities. Both teams throwing shots towards the net, but the possession clock does not reset unless there is a shot on goal. Varsity Blues now on that far side after making some changes will set up their offense from up high. And great contact in front of the Badgers net. The defense standing strong for Brock, but Toronto will keep possession. Action continuing on the far side of the field.
And now the Badgers doing a really good job of just holding up the Varsity Blues here. Varsity Blues almost getting a really good shot on goal there, and the Badgers just being everywhere and cleaning that up. It's been really hard for these offenses the last few minutes to get anything to go or get any clean looks at the net.
So we've seen a few times now where the Varsity Blues look to set up behind the net, try and find a cutter into the slot, but nobody open. The pass inside gets deflected away, but quickly scooped up by Toronto. Time continuing to run down. More great work on that far sideline from McGregor Allen.
And you could just see that this is the third matchup between these teams, just both of them knowing each other so well, you know, holding each other. I mean, both offenses and defenses are just doing such a great job so far in this game.
And nearly connecting into the midfield there. Andrew Kidd was coming with a free lane, but the ball just doesn't go into the mesh, and Toronto quickly turns back the other direction. As they cross midfield, they'll slow things down. Ryan Clark will pass it off and then head back for a switch.
Ooh.
And there was a similar opportunity for Toronto coming back the other way. Nearly caught Josh Davenport cutting through, but another turnover and quickly back the other way. Both teams struggling to connect on some long passes.
Yeah, that's the Badgers' second opportunity there where it could have been another opportunity at goal, another opportunity to get a goal there. Just not able to connect on that pass. And for the Badgers and Varsity Blues here, it's as the Badgers seem to get a penalty there, but for the Badgers and Varsity Blues there, got to clean up the passes. Offensively, can't be giving up the ball like that, especially in those positions.
Nearing 3 minutes remaining in the first half of action at Alumni Field. Both teams battling to try and book their ticket to the Begataway Cup next weekend.
It's such a tight game here tonight.
Toronto now notice they have a man advantage as there's a player slow to get on the field. Makes it just in time to break things up, though. And the ball will go the way of Brock. So Toronto a little slow to take advantage.
Yeah, and those are the ones that you kind of regret not taking advantage of, right? I mean, missed opportunity there for the Varsity Blues to tie it up at 4. We've seen the Varsity Blues be successful in those positions. Man down, they already have a goal or 2 here when the Badgers are a man down. So unfortunate possession there by the Varsity Blues, but what a game has it's been so far between these two teams. Such a tightly, you know, played contest between these two teams. I mean, you could see that they've played 2 matchups already this year. The familiarity between both of these coaches, between both of their players on both sides of the field. It's just, you know, that the players are just have a better, you know, just guessing, you know, anticipating the opponent's moves, and you just see it on the field, right? I mean, the defenses in that first quarter were a little shaky, right, for both teams. Varsity Blues allowing 3 goals and the Badgers allowing 2 goals, and here in this second quarter, it's tightened up a lot. I mean, the Varsity Blues haven't allowed the Brock Badgers to hit that multi-goal threshold, even though there's, three or so minutes left to go in this quarter. Badgers,
Brock's still looking for that
still
second
has it.
goal as they were held to just one so far in this second 15-minute period.
Yeah.
We've already mentioned a few of the names, the players that are kind of expected to carry that offensive load. As you mentioned, Mitchell Zulian leading the team in scoring with 14 goals this season. But then we've said their names a few times as well, and they've each got a goal so far in this one. Aiden Buis, who had 9 goals in the season, and Sam Leclerc, who had 4 goals, more of a facilitator, finishing with 8 assists. So some of the players, some of the names that are kind of expected to spark this offense as action returns to the field. Pachariva will take it behind the net. And he'll work it back and forth.
Ooh.
Hertner has it stripped away. And here's that pace of play that the Varsity Blues will need to utilize. They get in tight, quick shot, turned aside.
What a block there for the Badgers. I mean,
and the shot clock will reset as it was number 18, Declan McPherson, with the bounce shot on goal, but Connor O'Toole was able to turn it aside. But as Toronto comes up with the ball, they'll get a fresh 80 seconds to work with.
That looked like such a dangerous opportunity for the Varsity Blues. I mean, Ryan Clark got the burners on to start that whole possession. I thought a goal was coming out of that. What a possession there for the Badgers and the Badgers goalkeeper to keep the ball out.
Quickly back the other direction comes Brock as they try and get the pace of play. A stick goes into the face of Mitchell Zulian. Surprised the flag doesn't come out for that, but Zulian will hold on and slowly play the ball back up top as the Badgers will make their changes at the sideline to get Pachariva onto the field. They do a slick play there where it nearly looks like Buis passes the ball off to Pachariva, but he keeps it. Eventually it circles back around to 88, and he catches Sam Leclerc cutting in for that second goal.
Really well against these Badgers in this second quarter and get that second goal of this second quarter for the Badgers. I mean, Leclerc is having a good game tonight, and the Varsity Blues just having a tough time holding him back. Just that speed and, that, IQ of the game to be able to get in those behind these Varsity Blue players and put themselves in position to be able to get a nice goal like that. It's why the Badgers are on top 5-3 here in the second quarter.
And the second goal of the game for Leclerc, usually the facilitator. This time, Blair Pachariva was able to find him cutting through the slot. And as action continues, Brock came away with it and quickly called a timeout as there's just 20 seconds remaining in this second quarter. They want to continue to try and extend this lead, potentially get it up to a 3-goal lead, currently leading 5-3.
Yeah, I mean, since that first quarter, that was a pretty tight contest. I mean, since the 5-minute mark here, that's been a pretty tight contest. The Badgers have started to distance themselves a little bit here from the Varsity Blues, started to, play a little bit sharper offensively where they're not giving up the ball as much as the Varsity Blues have. I mean, the turnovers for the Varsity Blues are starting to catch up to them a little bit and not taking advantage of their opportunities as well. We've seen the Varsity Blues get a few opportunities, more than a few opportunities tonight where they could have brought the game closer, tied it at some points, and the Badgers, the Varsity Blues allowed the Badgers to just, get an extra goal, and now a 2-goal margin stands between both of these teams. So Varsity Blues got to come out. There's not a lot of time to work with here in this first half, but in that second half, it's going to have to be a different type of aggressiveness that they're going to have to come out with. This is playoff lacrosse here. This is for all the marbles here,
So
right?
both of these teams trying to secure their place next weekend at the Begataway Cup, hosted by Trent University in Peterborough. The event taking place between November 4th to 6th, with quarterfinals on the 4th, semifinals on the 5th, and championship on the 6th. Brock, a perennial contender for that Kufla championship. They've won it 19 times in program history, with the first coming in 1986. They want to make sure they have an opportunity, and in order to have that chance, they have to win this one here against the Toronto Varsity Blues. Coming out of the timeout, though, a miscommunication on the pass, and that will do it. We will end the first half with the Brock Badgers leading the Toronto Varsity Blues 5-3 in Kufla playoff action here at Alumni Field. Stay tuned following this short halftime break, as more action will be coming right back at you.
All right, fellas, listen. Control our emotions, right? Every action is positive, negative, or neutral. Let's have a bunch of positive ones out here. Okay, short shifts. Let's get everybody through this, feeling the energy, feeling the body contact, get into this game right away. Okay, everybody's going real quick, short shifts. Listen, we're on a journey this season to play our best when it matters the most. This is one step along that journey.
Welcome to the Meridian Center. We're here at the Steel Blade Classic against the Guelph Griffins. It's going to be a great game tonight. I am Remizano, joined by my good friend Anthony Santini. Let's go Badgers, ringing through the Meridian Center. Taking it, Marino looks for the cycle, still holds on to it, passes alongside her. Chella, shot, score! But a good chance for Riva. Gurney shoots, scores! Yes, Jake Gurney! The St. Catherine's native! As he came across. Pucci slows up, nice move by Pucci. Controls, center, Thiessen! It goes in! On back for Taylor, I should say. Taylor feeds it on up. We got a chance for Jordan. Stop! Stop! Pass it! Score! Jordan, stop! Start, hand, and goal! And your 2022 Steel Blade Classic champions will be the Brock Badgers, winning 6-2 against the Guelph Griffins as they get a little bit of a celebration. A great way to start the year if you're the Brock Badgers.
Does mine look kind of weird, the screen?
Welcome back following the first half of KUFLA playoff action between the Brock Badgers and Toronto Varsity Blues. Brock holds a 5-3 lead as both teams take back onto Alumni Field, joined by Isaiah Aneni. Isaiah, can you tell us a little bit, some of the notes when it comes to this matchup between the Badgers and the Varsity Blues?
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen how strong the Badgers have been playing tonight and how strong they've been playing all season. And when you look at their schedule, the two teams that they've lost to, they have 4 losses on their schedule, but they're only to 2 teams, and that's Guelph and Western, the strongest teams in the conference, right? And that's just goes to show how strong this Badgers team is. And in this matchup specifically as well, the Badgers are 17-0 against the Varsity Blues since 2012. So it's been a one-sided matchup for a really long time against these two teams for the last 10 years, right? So this is a matchup the Badgers have feel very comfortable in, and all season they felt like a really strong team, only losing to the top 2 teams, right? So,
So the Badgers now will go down a man as a flag will fly. Toronto will get action started once again, and they'll have the advantage on the power play. Looking to cut in the middle, able to be just pushed away by Brock as they'll look to just hold on for another 15 seconds of this 30-second penalty.
Yeah, and what a fortunate start there for the Varsity Blues. Oh, as I thought the goal went in.
Whistle was blown before, so no goal, and Brock will take over as goalie. Connor O'Toole will look for a pass. Finds a cutting player in the middle. That's Buse. He'll slow things down with Zulian. So those two will just work the ball up top as they await Pachariva. coming on from the sideline, and all the offensive weapons are on the field for the Badgers as they work the ball around now. Setting up from behind the net. They've had success, both with quick cuts through the slot. Buse now trying to use the pick from Zulian. Sends a shot, goes wide.
And the Badgers continuing to just look dangerous on this side of the field. Even though that shot didn't get on net, I mean, they're just able to get in deep into this Varsity Blues defense continually, and we're still seeing that here early in the third quarter. Varsity Blues are going to have to keep them out if they want to get back in this game.
LeClaire, who's been man of the match so far now with it, he'll be turned back. Buse now try and go over, sends a low shot that will go through, and that will do it likely for the shot clock of the Badgers.
Yeah.
As they are unable to get a shot on goal. So of all the matches we've done at Alumni Field here for the men's lacrosse season, the KUFLA season, this might be the most shot clock violations we've had, and we're only starting the third quarter.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's been a definite factor here tonight. It's been hard to get deep in the teeth of the defense for both teams, and it's just slow build-up for both offenses early.
And not sure what the scenario is going on that far sideline.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot was happening there. It seemed like the Badgers are going to get a break there. Varsity Blues were stopping that. Seemed like.
And Brock will come up with the ball. So this will be another attacking opportunity for Brock as they send on a fresh offensive unit, leading by 2. They send the ball behind the net, looking to try and cut in front. Unable to get a shot through. So they'll retreat back. Pachariva nearly all the way back to midfield. He's going to look for that downhill run. Goes for the spin, cuts through, gets the shot on. And that's the second highlight reel goal of the game for Blair Pachariva.
Yeah, I mean, he just knows how to do it flashy. That was a beautiful goal right there. The spin move, the shot, everything. That was picture perfect. shots on goal, but a lot of shots around the net. Just means that they've been getting a lot of shots off. That Varsity Blues defense wasn't really holding that the Badgers or making them uncomfortable, or just making it hard for them to get into the teeth of that defense. And the Badgers did well, on a consistent basis there for the last few minutes to be able to get that goal and set up that goal.
And I believe that was Sam Leclerc completing the hat trick in this one.
What
As
a
we
game.
return to the field, Toronto comes up with the face-off win. 1 minute remaining in the third quarter. Toronto, no goals in this period so far.
And a period that just got under a minute to go. The Badgers have dominated this period. I mean, defensively, they've looked really well. Offensively, they've looked really well. And for a Toronto Varsity Blues team that looked like they were going to give the Badgers a run for their money tonight, it's been really just no contest here in this third quarter.
So Toronto looking to set up with this possession. There's the shot on, goes wide. That was Christoph McWatt with the shot.
And if the Badgers have this type of second gear where in that third quarter, in the third, fourth quarters of games, of these playoff games, they could just turn it up like this defensively and offensively, they're going to be a very dangerous team as they, advance or they hope to advance this year, right? Because this is very, very, good for the Badgers. I mean, so
Toronto
clean.
slowing play down. Some great defense there from Smelly, able to knock the ball away, but we see a flag thrown. And that will be a penalty against Smelly.
Yeah.
So he will head to the sideline, drop the knee, and 30 seconds will start once the clock goes.
Fortunate break here for the Varsity Blues. Looked like it was great defense there, but slipped up a little bit there and got a little bit overly aggressive, allowing the Varsity Blues to get a lucky opportunity here to get a goal.
And it doesn't look like Toronto will take a shot to end this frame. So after 3 quarters, the Brock Badgers continue to lead the Toronto Varsity Blues 7-3 in this KUFLA playoff contest at Alumni Field. Make sure to stick around for fourth quarter action here on Brocktv.
It's not going by too slow. I feel like these are kind of good in it. Like, it does go by fast.
So as the teams switch sides and we come back onto the field, the Badgers lead the Varsity Blues 7-3 in KUFLA playoff action. Brock looking to book their ticket to the Bagataway Cup in Trent, or at Trent in Peterborough. Isaiah, can you tell us a little bit about the journey last year Brock took on their way to the Bagataway Cup championship?
They had that first, big win against McMaster, 15-1, where they just completely dominated the Marauders, and continuing with that momentum, went in versus Queens, won 17-10 there, and then they versed Bishops, won 10-7, and then in the finals against Guelph, a really good team, 10-9 in overtime. So we know how the momentum works with the playoffs, and you got to start off early, have a good start early, and just like the Badgers did last year, a lot of goals are coming off in the first game in the playoffs this year.
So after this, if Brock are able to come away with the win, they'll look to get 3 more. All it takes is 3 wins to raise the trophy, but you got to get there first, as Toronto are working the offense. Unable to get in close, so they'll retreat back once again. Send the ball on the near side, trying to find a lane. They'll try and set the pick. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. They'll need to get it on O'Toole, or another turnover will come their way. And it looks like they'll just concede it.
Yeah, and I mean, not even getting a shot remotely off there, just been so locked up by the Brocktv defense.
Great shot attempt there from LeClaire after receiving the pass. Just a little flip underneath, and it goes wide. Brock will keep possession.
And the Varsity Blues, you got to keep your head on your shoulders. The game's not done yet. I mean, the Brock Badgers are coming off, and they're coming strong. They started that third quarter strong, and they're starting this fourth quarter strong as well. Even with that four-goal lead, they're not taking their foot off the gas pedal. So, I mean, you're seeing it here early. Defensively, just not letting up. Offensively, not letting up. Varsity Blues got to
The offensive weapons onto the field now for Brock, as Buse, Zulian, and Pachariva make their way on to join LeClaire. LeClaire been the man of the match so far. We'll see if he gets involved as he sets himself in the slot area. Ball working its way behind the net. Quickly sent in front now to LeClaire. He'll look to go one-on-one, use the pick of Pachariva. But just a tough pass between the two players. Brock will have to just scoop it up and send it back. Now Buse trying to work through the body check of Toronto. He'll circle in front. Just really trying to get a shot on goal. Ends up in the net, in the mesh of Patterson. Clock running down again, and that one will go wide. We'll see if Brock concedes the shot clock to retreat on defense again. And they will do it. They send the ball deep to quickly set themselves back up so they don't allow Toronto to break out into a transition opportunity.
Yeah, and with a comfortable lead, even though the Varsity Blues did well to hold the Badgers up there, it's just a smart play to do to, you know, reset everything. But the Badgers still looking really strong. Varsity Blues haven't had a goal since that second quarter, which is the most impressive thing in this whole run for me.
So Toronto will need to string together a number of goals here to even have a chance. They were held scoreless in that third quarter, as they're getting lots of pressure from Mitchell Armstrong up top, once again stifling the attack of George Brown, one of the standout players for Toronto. And O'Toole gets the stick out to force the turnover.
Yeah, that Badgers defense has just been relentless all game, just not letting up and not allowing these Varsity Blue players any breath of fresh air.
Hunter now with it. Tries to get the quick pass, but goes off the stick of Andrew Ribka. And Toronto were able to turn back the other direction, so we'll see if they can take better advantage this time and set up a shot attempt.
And earlier in the game, they looked really dangerous with that, you know, counterattack opportunity, right, with the speed that they have. But just since that first quarter, just not a lot to go, especially in that department.
Both teams getting physical now. Toronto cutting through. And O'Toole nearly had it as it slips through for the goal.
Yeah, I mean, Varsity Blues getting one back on the board there. I mean, they got to strike early and often if they're trying to get back into this game, get the game back down to three goal This is the last quarter. The Badgers, you got to finish strong. You built a nice lead for yourselves in that third quarter. You got to continue. This is a nice timeout here by the Badgers to just regroup, just get refocused again, right? I mean, Varsity Blues are making another push as it's a playoff game, right? They're not done. They were never done, you know, and they were going to continue to keep coming. And for the Badgers, how are you going to respond to their response, right? Varsity Blues, even though really looked like they couldn't get anything to go, right? Just being really stifled by that Brock defense, responded really well here in this fourth.
So only 3 teams will move on from this Kufla West Division. We already know Western is moving on after defeating McMaster 15-3 last night. This matchup between Brock and Toronto sees the number 3 seed Brock going against the number 4 seed. Both teams just looking to try and get a ticket to the dance. Once there, it takes 3 wins and you get to raise that cup. And as you mentioned earlier, the Badgers have been dominant against this Varsity Blues team historically on a current 17-0 run. Toronto trying to put an end to that right now.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice to put an end to it on a playoff game as well, right? I mean, the stakes are high. The stakes are even higher for the Varsity Blues, right? Going 18-0 down to this Badger team that just seems to have your number. Opportunity to come back and take a win in dramatic fashion. We got a heck of 6 minutes left to go in this game, 7 minutes or so to go.
So as the teams come back out onto the field, Coach Vince Longboat surely instilling how important it will be for Brock to control possession through this final 6 minutes here at Alumni Field. And not only that, but to make sure when they have the ball in that offensive end, they're getting shots on goal. We've already seen 6 shot clock violations in this one so far, and Brock is able to come away with it. So they'll quickly look to make those sideline changes, get their offensive players on the field. Action continues on that far side, and we see a few of the players are able to make it on. But a near turnover as the ball comes out onto the turf, and that is it. Toronto will come away with it. So some great defensive work there right near midfield.
Yeah.
And just like that, they have a chance to make this a 1-goal game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Varsity Blues have been playing much, much better here in the fourth quarter. Something that they couldn't get Brock to do in that third quarter is turn over the ball, and getting them to do it here in the fourth, just coming at a clutch time here for the Varsity Blues.
So as they work that far sideline, trying to find a lane to get through, they'll work all the way around, try and cut back and circle in front.
Ooh.
Ball goes loose, but that will count as a shot on goal, so the shot clock will reset.
Ooh, and I mean, Varsity Blues looking dangerous here late in this game, getting a shot on goal on the Badger defense that looked like they just could not crack.
So Dylan Doucette now working that far side. He'll be checked by Nathan Furr. You can see they're trying to utilize that same attack, getting behind the Badgers net to circle in front, but the ball comes loose.
Yeah, I know the Badgers did well to just cover up every single
And
Varsity
here comes
Blue
a
player
quick
there.
transition back the other way. Ribka,
Ooh.
just a little too deep when he received that pass.
Yeah, off balance, but it was looking like a great opportunity there for the Badgers.
Hunter now gets it back to Gowlin, who puts it over to Zulian.
For the Badgers here, what wonders would a goal do for them? I mean, it would just put the game at that far point where you don't want to hold the ball too much, but you want to put the game at that far point where it's, yeah, like, you know, the confidence gets hit a little bit of the Varsity Blues where they were coming back, and then it seems like it's too far away to come back to now.
Well, Claire now battling for possession on the inside. Gowlin will come up with it, but once again gets put on the turf.
Ooh.
And it almost seems like the Badgers are reserved to just eating up the clock. They're trying to use every second of that shot clock and not necessarily trying to set themselves up for a good scoring opportunity.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you see it. You see them not being too aggressive as they were looking for a shot on goal. They're looking to hold the ball.
Big
as
turnover here. Patterson gets knocked down. Ribka nearly knocked down as well. We'll see a quick turnover here.
What a play there, though. I mean, 2 Badgers knocked down there and no flags thrown. Nice defensive play there by the Varsity Blues as it seems. It's could have been a great opportunity there for the Badgers to just put it away.
Ribka with it down behind the net. Circles in front.
Ooh.
Shot goes well high.
Varsity Blues have done better, right? Defensively, just staying in front of these Badgers attackers, even though they've been really dangerous all game.
Ribka again. We'll give it to Patterson. Patterson on that far side.
Yeah, they're definitely running down the clock, have no sense of urgency to score this goal, right?
Patterson with some space. Finds Leclerc.
Wow.
What a goal, Sam Leclerc. Have yourself a playoff game.
Wow, what a goal there. The little pass up and just straight dump into the back of the net there. The Badgers offense looking good. I mean, can't stop that. That looked really, really good.